pitch. Definition, pitch. So the pitch is from sense of hearing the aspect of the sensation about variations associated with musical melodies. In shortly, it's the perceptual correlate. The perceptual correlate to repetition rate. Yeah, the short way. Some yeah, how you perceive the music or the sounds. Yeah, here's music. How you yeah. The aspect of sensation, whose variation. The aspects of sensation, whose variation is associated with musical melodies. Okay, so there are some. We have some here. How do we measure pitch? We have, for instance, pressure function. Pressure measure. That could be the pitch. The pitch of the pure tone is linked to the frequency, and we have some Mel scale. And linked to frequency. Yeah, and we have here some frequency here, 500,000, and pitch in Mel scale. So I think it's a pitch Mel is about 295. I got it. Log 10 of some 1 plus f divided by 700. That means that if 1000 hertz, that's pitch, should be around 1000 hertz, 1000 Mel. Okay. Yes. And the frequency of each note of the piano. Yeah, for instance, if you start with 440 hertz, you can also. We are talking about frequency linked to the pitch. So if we have here F is the 12th root of 2 in N times 440 hertz, you can make some calculations. This will N times log N times log 2. The number 2 here is N times log 2 in mod 12, and that means that is N times 1 over 12 times log 2. This is 1. So we get that N is 12 times log 2. Yeah, yes. That's it. Okay. Minimum frequency that induces a sensation of pitch sensation is about 20 Hertz. Okay, and we can also find the maximum frequency, and yes, then we have some definitions of phone. We have some what's called here frequency, and we have some dB, SPL. We have some minimum and 1 kilohertz. The phone, we have some, for instance, 40 phones here. This is the same is equal to the 40 SPL. Yeah. So about sensation, about pitch. A phone is a unit of loudness. Its loudness level of sound in phones is the sound pressure level in decibels of a 1 kilohertz pure judged of a 1 kilo pure tone judged equal. So yeah, we can also use phone and then zones. Yes, but zones is about loudness. Yes, we can talk about just J&D, and it comes out to that semitones. So a semitone is about 6%, and your J&D is about 5%, and this is 0.5%. So we should be able to hear all the semitones, for instance, in up to 4 kilohertz. Yeah. Then we have there are some pitch about equally loud. We can count on. I can just tell the things we have. It's a little bit complicated to use two. You have two pure tones, equally loud. Plus sinus to 2 pi f2 times t is same as 2 times sinus to half t times cosinus to times t. Yes, and this is a carrier frequency, and this is amplitude modulated or modified. Yeah, and there's a lot of discussions. It's too complicated to see how if apps is less than 20 hertz, I think. So that means that there comes some amplitude modulation things, but pure tone på 500 hertz, pure tone på 510 hertz, complex tone 500 and 510 hertz, and pure tone at 505 hertz. So they are almost similar. Same pitch as a pure tone at frequency. Same what's called same pitch. Pure tone F frequency with AM. Yeah. So we get the same pitch as a pure tone at frequency. If we put them together, we get a pure tone at frequency f1 plus f2 half. And with, for instance, f500, f2 is 510, f1 plus f2 half, 5 hertz, and AM f minus 2 half is 5 hertz. Right, yeah. Okay. A little bit complicated stuff. If the difference between the frequencies are large, then there's no, they don't fuse, and so on. Yeah, okay. Yips. What can I say more? The dimensions of pitch. There are two. There are height, tone height, and chroma. So it should be like a helix. You have this. The chroma, if there is a tone height up here, the frequencies are growing, yes, and your tone height is increasing. Then there's a tone height, and chroma is more that's is at 1 octave, and then is 1 octave over. They have a same chroma, but different tone heights. So there are two dimensions of this pitch. So yes, two dimensions, yes, and yes. The musical scaling pitch may be viewed in terms of two attributes, height and chroma. Tone heights pertains to the monotonic increase from low to higher pitch. As frequency rises, it has been suggested that Mel scales of pitch are related to the dimension of tone heights. In contrast, chroma is related to a perceptual similarity among tones that are separated by an octave, for instance. As a result, these tones have the same chroma and share the same name. Okay. The chroma is about color. How pitch can be coded in coding place and time temporal. We have the year is divided by 3 parts: inner ear, middle and outer ear. And inner ear, cochlea, and the base membrane, and we have that's the apex and the base, and the base you can say it's concerned about the high frequencies, and apex about the low frequencies. Apex codes low frequencies around 200 Hz, and base codes frequencies up to 20,000 Hz. And the place of the each characteristic frequency is related to the log of the frequency. You can find the place of this. Yeah. And the width of the excitation caused by one tone will depend on this frequency, is linked to the auditory filter. And that can be predicted by the critical band. And the neurons, they burst together Each nerve do not fire at each period, but however